With everything going on in the world right now, is right now the time to panic buy? Let's talk about that. So I gotta get this out of the way. I am generally not a fan of panic buying. I am much more of the mindset that we should be preparing ahead of time. We should be getting a hold of everything that we might need for this foreseeable future as early as we can and be as prepared as we can at any given point. But the world doesn't always work like that, and the life isn't perfect. So when it comes to firearm panic buys, I got into guns initially back in 2012, and then I also saw the craze during 2016, and right now we're seeing another one not even related due to an election year, and that's ultimately why I kind of want to talk about that today, because those last two in 2012 and 2016, that was because of election year drama, and in 2016 also with, Gunmageddon in California, it was a crazy time of people trying to get AR-15s before the deadline, so there was just a lot going on. Right now, I want to talk about specifically the situation that we have right now. And is right now the time to stock up or panic buy? Or should you be panic buying? Is kind of a conversation that I've been meaning to have for a while. So first, I want to kind of bring up why I want to talk about that today. So if we look here, here's a post, a general overview of the state of the AR-15 industry and what we are seeing from the manufacturer level. Now, this is from White Label Armory. They're a company that makes OEM parts and makes parts for other companies. And basically what this is talking about, how the demand is so high and that even for the past 6 months, past year or so, they've been having a great year. So demand has already been high for a long time. They've been maxing out capacity for a while now. And now they're saying online sales have increased about 40%. Most of our online customers and dealers and smaller manufacturers who depend on us for build parts and retail inventory, we are keeping up with shipments and still managing to ship same day due to adding additional staff. So right now what we're seeing is people, manufacturing level, they're having to work like crazy, add more people in order to meet the demand that's currently there. Now, this whole first half is basically them talking about their industry experience and what's going on with them, but this is the part that I really want to read here. So what does this mean for you, the end user? Expect shortages of critical components that are difficult to manufacture, like bolt carrier groups, barrels, as well as panic-driven items like magazines and ammo. If anyone remembers 28 and 2012, get ready to see it again in just a few weeks. Just a few weeks. We allocate a percentage of our manufacturing to web sales, but dealers tend to grab it right when it goes back in stock. Lower receiver sales have increased dramatically, mostly to dealers for resale. Expect to see prices rising at the retail level as dealers try to increase profit in the short term to help bridge them when supplies run out and their income is limited. Our prices will not go up in response to increased demand. We set them where we consider them to be fair for both us and the customer. So right here, this is the part where I have experience with and that I think is actually a very valid point. So the distributor RSR, they're one of the big 5 or 6, I believe, that I remember working with, that is a wholesaler that ships to dealers and other small companies or online retailers. So the distributor RSR is informally used as a measure of panic levels. Generally, we look at PMags and 5.56 ammo inventory. They generally have at least 100,000 5.56 30-round PMags in stock at any given time. They have none right now. No 30-round 5.56 PMags of any kind, in fact. Of course, they have no 5.56 ammo either. Last I checked, no AR-15 rifles were available. In order to get these things right now, you need to be a dealer with a very strong buying history as well as the inventory that is on allocation. So the reason that I really wanted to talk about that today is not so much because I think that it's the election year cycle. I think that it's the election year cycle paired up with the fact that we have this whole rush going on that's totally separate from what's probably going to happen in a few months. Personally, I see the writing on the walls. If you don't currently have something, I would personally recommend getting it now. This is something that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, and this right here is a perfect insight to what's going on as far as the manufacturers are concerned. It seems like it's going to be a long drought. I personally feel like we're going to be seeing the same thing that we saw in 2012 and 2016. We're going to see crazy prices. We've already seen Cheaper Than Dirt jack up their prices on PMags. We've already seen all kinds of companies out of nowhere just pop up and start shilling stuff at super high prices when they used to be respectable retailers. And I don't see this stopping anytime soon. I don't want people to panic buy, but I recognize the fact that society is going to do whatever it wants to do. If you don't have a need for products, my ask of you is that you please don't go out and buy more than you need. Shop in moderation. Leave enough for the people that don't have anything. I've been doing my best to offer people out in Sonoma County that have absolutely no ammo. Maybe I'll fill up a mag or two. You know, maybe think about doing that for the people in your community, because ultimately this is a gun community. And I think that the toxic behavior that we've exhibited in the past, in 2012 all the way through now, is going to bite us in the ass, because I don't want to have to live through another era where PSA rifles cost $1,000. That's just not my cup of tea. I bought my first AR-15, it was a PSA build, and I spent $850 on it. Right now, that same quality build, that same exact part list, would probably run me about $450. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't think anyone is, and unfortunately it looks like the times are coming when people are going to start panicking and buying everything off the shelf for a long period of time. If you haven't stocked up and you don't have anything, I'd recommend buying. If you already are stocked up, please don't be that asshole that buys all the 22 LR. I still don't understand the whole 22 LR rush that was like 4 years straight. I think ultimately what I'm trying to say here is don't expect the panic buying that's going on right now to get any better. I don't expect it to. I think that we're going to have a long drought because of the election year that's coming up. So if you absolutely need something, maybe now's the time to buy. If you don't, please don't be that douchebag that buys all the 22 LR, please. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. If you have anything that you want to talk about, if you have any experiences that helped you get through the rush back in 2012 or 2016, drop a comment below. Maybe we could help each other out. As always, have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. This is White Claw, by the way.